Hi everyone, just before we get into another episode of What a Load of Bulls, we just want to give a shout out to our partners, Newcastle Car and Truck Rental. Newcastle Car and Truck Rental are a locally owned company servicing Newcastle and the Hunter. Todd Holden and family pride themselves on being part of the local community, and you feel that when you step through their doors. It isn't a different person every time you call, it's the same people taking care of business and taking care of you. So next time you're in need of a rental, be it a truck to move, a ute for those everyday DIY jobs, or a car to get the family around on a day out, be sure to contact the team at Newcastle Car and Truck Rental by visiting www.newcastlerental.com or by calling 02 49 081 081. And don't forget to tell them DJ and Simon sent you. Welcome back, newbies and regulars. What a Load of Bulls podcast. DJ Dilworth, Simon Lyttle here for episode 63. Hope you've all enjoyed the episode so far. If you haven't checked them all out, make sure you go back through Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Check out some previous. The last one's an absolute cracker, a wealth of talent on there, talking about the World Bulls series. We were both there. First time we done the podcast together was awesome. It was good to be greenside there, see some of the best talent in the world fighting it out. But here he is. Can't keep the man away from me any longer. Simon Lyttle, how are you, Simon?
I'm great. It's glad to be back that we're actually a great distance apart. It really is good that I can just see on the screen.
Camera off and not have to look at you.
Well, I can hit mute as well, so that's all good. So it's nice to be back.
Be a pretty boring podcast if you did that, man.
But no, after last week and a fair bit of travel, back into sort of routine here in Sydney, and we are back to recording fair distances apart, but we are here for another episode. And what is coming up on this episode, DJ?
Round the greens, mate. We hinted at it previously. We've got the Australian Nationals to go through. There's obviously a lot of things to talk about, but we'll highlight some of the key events that we will talk about. We'll recap what we did at the World Bulls series. So we will. And then you'll talk a little bit about Coach's Corner. And we'll wrap up, and that'll do us until just after Christmas or New Year, I think. So I've got a good one lined up for you this week, folks. But you're right, man. It's good to be back at some home comforts. Although I had another long trek down to Melbourne again yesterday.
You did. Yeah. Talk us about that. What was the purpose of going back down to Melbourne again?
We've had a few things come up with the construction, so I had to go down and just test out a couple of different greens again and just speak to a couple of manufacturers and things. And yeah, 5:30 wake up call, drive to Williamtown Airport on the plane, hour 40 minutes on the plane down, go and get the hire car, an hour and 30 minutes, an hour and 40 minutes down to Torquay. Hour and a half down there at Torquay, half an hour drive over to Ocean Grove, quick roll up there for half hour, 45 minutes. Back in the car, another hour 40 from Ocean Grove to Tullamarine Airport, drop off the car, get inside, then hop on a plane for an hour 20 to Newcastle, back in the car, drive home after 9 o'clock.
Big day. That's a big day.
Man, it's what you got to do, but I will give a shout out. Obviously, I was meeting a couple of suppliers and manufacturers and stuff down there, but the guys that met me from Torquay Bowling Club, absolutely brilliant. The hospitality down there, mate, and the view. I haven't sent you any photos yet. I don't think I did. I need to send you a photograph, mate. The view them boys have, unbelievable. Bent grass green.
No,
so that's what we played on at home. Yeah, they've got a bent grass green, and then they've got the carpet just up above that, which has only been down a few weeks. So yeah, it was good to get down and see them. I mean, the hospitality was brilliant. So it was. They were really welcoming, very open to have a conversation with issues they've had in the past and where they're up to now. And yeah, if you're down in the area, you got to get down and see Torquay Bowling Club. Absolutely, mate. Just tiny little club, 2 greens, but apparently barefoot wise on a Friday night from 4:30. You can't move in the place apparently. And I can see why, honestly. Like I said, I got to send you that photograph, but the view from there just, like, I just walked in and had a look and I went, boys, look, I've seen some pretty good views along the New South Wales North Coast, Kingscliff and all there, beautiful views and stuff. That one rivals it. That's pretty darn good down there at Torquay.
Put that on the hit list then. You've spruiked it up. I'm going to have to go there someday and check it out.
Oh, man, it's superb. So it is. Yeah, if Ness will let you go.
Yeah.
You already used your leave pass to go down to Barham. So how was that trek, mate? 14 hours?
Yeah, 14 hours all up in one day. That was a big... But
you actually you pretty much drove past Barham to go back to Barham?
Yeah, but, it was worthwhile. It was good to catch up with Jeremy down at SSA and finally meet face-to-face. We've been doing a lot of contacting this last few months to try and get our TBA apparel all sorted and some some kit sorted for the podcast setup as well down at Barham. So yeah, it was good to go down and see face to face and actually see how they manufacture all their apparel and that it's all Australian made. Really quality stuff and very, very custom approach to how you can go about delivering for Bulls clubs, and definitely the apparel. Like, he does a lot of stuff for the AFL clubs, the pro sports, and he's bringing that into the Bulls community, a bit more professionalism around apparel. So really, really pleased with what he's done for us. And definitely, if you've got any ideas that you want to change your apparel, go with somebody that's Australian made stuff, then yeah, definitely shout out to Jeremy at SS.
Yeah, he's passionate, isn't he?
Absolutely. Loves it.
You spent easily 2 hours down there getting a tour of the factory.
Yeah, I spent a couple hours with him, and yeah, he showed me all the stuff like he's done for Broadbeach and a few other clubs, and you know, he's hitting the pain points that we see as bowlers, you know, in terms of clubs having to order 20 shorts and 20 of larges and 20 of all this. There's none of that. You just order exactly what you want for each person, and that's it. You don't have to have stock on hand. Like, I've seen a lot of Bulls clubs and they have lockers full of apparel that's never going to be used.
Yeah, we're the same.
That's just wasted money. But, you know, the custom element of it is just phenomenal. And that's from the pro sports kind of background that he does. And yeah, it's some of those pain points, like where you see really ugly Bulls apparel where it's just big paint splashes across ugly colors. Like, he's just got away with that. His designs are phenomenal. They're modern, they're fresh. Definitely worth a look at SSA.
Yeah, well, if you can keep someone like Barry Lester pretty happy, obviously they'll keep the rest of us pretty happy.
Yeah,
you know, Barry's a bit out there when it comes to designs and things. So it is. But yeah, mate. Moving on then, as we said, Nationals. So the Nationals were held a couple of weeks ago down there in Tassie.
They were, yeah.
Mate, there was just like, it's what, Nationals has been up around 7 or 8 years now. They've brought it back in and they've incorporated everything from the Australian sides championships to the power athletes to the champion of champions to all the national champions, the under 18s. Everything's involved in that. It's a massive festival of bowls over about, well, it must be nearly 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone converged on, I think it was Delvenport Country Club. Seen the live stream on the blue carpet on the inside. Made it look like it was running absolutely beautiful. Didn't hear a bad word about it. The only thing is, though, I don't know if you've seen them, but there was a lot of funny clips on Bulls Australia on their social medias of rebounding bowls coming onto the rink and players diving all over the place to try and stop them from disturbing the heads and things. So
yeah, okay.
It's funny to look at, but man, it's a bugbear of mine. You know, I know there's a lot of quick drives nowadays, but we got to do something to stop all those rebounds, and they're pretty substantial rebounds. Like coming halfway back up the rink, nearly.
Yeah.
So they were, but no, look, they seem to have a fantastic facility there. There's a country club, golf club, everything out there. Had a couple outdoor greens, had that indoor one, and like I said, I probably watched more highlights of the Champion of Champions. Oh, look, some of you could just roll that thing down there and just kept going. It just looked like a lovely speed. Could play all the shots on it. So yeah, big shout out to them, obviously, for holding the Nationals. So like I said, we're only going to look at a couple of events. We'll stick to the blue ribbons, which is your singles. So Champion of Champions singles, the main singles, men's and women's, and then we'll look at obviously the Australian sides championships as well. So all kicked off with that Champion of Champions. We'll go with the men's first. Max Kleining came out on top of the ladder there. As I said, ladder. Everyone, all 8 states and territories rock up. They all play each other. So Maxi Kleining, 5 wins, 2 losses. Exact same as Brett Wilkie, 5 wins, 2 losses.
Yeah.
Exact same as Daniel Baker, 5 wins and 2 losses. Funny thing there is Max and Brett both lost their final games.
Really?
Yes. So they both went in with the same record of 5-1 after 6 games, and they're playing their 7th. Max is actually playing Daniel Baker. So Daniel knows, like, he's away, he's miles behind on shot difference. So the chances of him catching up to Max, he probably has been in 21-1 or something like that. And then Brett was playing Ali Forsyth. They were only a couple of shots difference in it. So Max goes down by 4 to Daniel Baker. So it does. To really open the door for Brett Wilkie. But I think by the time that game had finished, Brett Wilkie's game had already finished. And I don't know what Brett Wilkie has done to Ali Forsyth. But Ali put him away 21-4. So he did. After being top 2 pretty much the whole way through, Ali put him away 21-4. So that was pretty incredible. So yeah, what a finish with both top picks losing their last games to go down. actually to go down, but then Maxi to hang on and still win it.
Still win it, hey?
Yeah, so well done to Maxi Kleining. In the women's, Natalie Lewis, she had a solitary loss against Ray Simpson, who came third. Ray from Tasmania. She went down 21-20 in that game. That was the only blemish on Natalie Lewis's card. She got the win with Adele Pursehouse from Queensland, coming runner-up. So Maxi Kleining and Natalie Lewis move on to the World Champions next year at Club Barham. Well, they'll play for the world. Yep. Well, they'll play for the World Champion singles. So well done to both Maxi and Natalie. I was talking to a few of the guys, obviously down there at Barham last week. I think Omar in particular was one to see Maxi. Great to see Maxi Kleining back playing. He was in the early stages. He was representing Adelaide in the early stages of the BPL / I think it was even APL back then.
Yeah.
In fact, the bowl. Remember we talked about it with Ali. The bowl that Ali played
that was
against Max. Yeah, it was. So, didn't he? Did he play for you guys at Tarrant Point?
He did. Yeah, I've had the pleasure of playing with him on the same surface. So he played a few fill-in games as a marquee for Tarrant Point.
Funny, I asked him how he felt. I asked him how he felt playing with you, and he said, "Who?"
Yeah, no way.
Nah. Yeah, so we'll move on to the blue ribbon then. So the blue ribbon event obviously is the main singles. So they do that slightly different. They put them into sections. So it's 2 sections, 1 of 4, 1 of 3, with the top 2 from each section going through. So Chloe Morrison topped her section from the ACT, and Kelly McCarran topped her section. Kelly from Victoria, so they got to play in the final. And then Christina Van Nierop, formerly Christic, from Western Australia, she came second in Kelly's section, and then Caitlin Inch from Kawana came second in Chloe's section. So that went on to the final series. They played for the bronze medal, so they did. But it was Kelly McCarran to get up 25-18 over Chloe. So gold to Kelly, silver to Chloe, and then Christina got up over Caitlin 25-22 to take the bronze medal in that one. So you go notice that the champions played 21 up. This one played 25 up.
No consistency.
Nah. Big talking point last week with a few people down at the
that was
Barham too, wasn't it? Off behind the scenes. But anyway, moving on to the men's as well. So there was some red hot lineups here. So Tristan Smollicum, Jonathan Voigt, Cody Packer, and Tyson Cromie all in the one section. And then in section 2, which was the 3-1, you had Ben Leggett, who we just seen on the BPL from Western Australia, Billy Belchambers and Mac McLean from the ACT. So it was Tyson Cromie who won his section 2-1. So 2 wins, 1 loss over Cody Packer. So he only beat Cody by, 8 shots in the end. But Cody went into the bronze medal game. Tyson went into the gold medal game up against Ben Leggett, who had 2 wins in his. And then Billy Belchambers, he had 1 win, so he managed to make it into the bronze medal game. And there was a Victoria double, mate, with Tyson Cromie coming out 25 winner over Ben Leggett. And then our own New South Wales champion, Cody Packer, got the bronze medal with a 25-23 win over Billy Belchambers from Tasmania. So that was the men's singles and the women's singles. So, yeah, big shout out to Victoria for doing the double there, mate. And obviously, Kelly, we're big fans of Kelly as it is. So great to see Kelly. Like, she had an absolute rampant Victorian championship. So it's great to see her take out an Aussie title there too in the singles. Big blue ribbon one, as we said. Then it sort of concluded with the Australian Sides Championships. So the 12 best men and 12 best women from each state all went down together to play out for the, which is the Ali Shield in the men's and the Marge Morris in the women's. And then there's an overall gold medal for that too. So in the men's, 8th place Northern Territory, 7th ACT, 6th Western Australia, 5th South Australia, 4th Tasmania. Then the big 3 all came in the top 3 as we'd expect. Victoria coming 3rd. And then that leaves Queensland and New South Wales. Both 6 wins, both 1 loss. One of them had a shot difference of 95. The other had a shot difference of 114.
Pretty close.
Match points, 18 each. And I come down to rink points in the end, and Queensland topped the table with 15.5 rinks over 14 rinks for New South Wales. So we know how red hot that New South Wales team is.
Yeah.
And the Queenslanders, they went and done the job, won the Ali Shield, and shout out to them, but also a big shout out to 3 of their legends. Well, 2 of their legends, and then one that they dragged up there from New South Wales, a good place. Yeah. I'd never see himself as a Queenslander, mate. It was good talk last week. But Nathan Rice, absolute legend. He's retired now from Queensland representative. Sean Baker as well. He's now retired from Queensland representative, which is less photographs taken of Sean then for people to actually comment on his foot faulting. So they might leave him alone now with less games played. Yeah. And then Omar as well. Like we said, Omar's now retired from representative duty. So yeah, three absolute legends of the sport, three legends of Queensland, and they've gone out on a high. And then we touched on the next one, mate, the women's Marge Morris. So 8th place Northern Territory, 7th place Western Australia, 6th place ACT, 5th place South Australia, 4th place Queensland, 4 wins, 3 losses. They'd be a bit disappointed with that.
Yeah.
The home state, Tasmania, had 5 wins and 2 losses. They came 3rd. Then there was the Victorians and the New South Wales. The Victorians, 6 wins, 1 loss. So they came 2nd. And the New South Wales ladies, 7 wins, 7 losses. 21 match points. So 7 wins, 3 points for a match point, so 21 points. They played 21 rinks and they won 20 rinks.
That's pretty good going, isn't it? Yeah,
mate, it's just that's just unbelievable. That their shot difference, 265.
Oh,
it is just, that is massive.
Huge. That's a
massive
statement. That is.
Anne Jones, Jessie Cattell, Natasha Van Eldik, and Erin Swatridge. 189 shots for, 87 shots against, shot difference of 102. Yeah, Sarah Bonington, Dawn Hayman, Sarah Bonington, Dawn Hayman, Brianna Smith, and Kay Moran. 193 for, 105 against, plus 88. And then there was Samantha Nerona, Natalie Lewis, Jamie Lee Worsnop, and Ellen Fife. They were the one loss, but they still had a plus margin of 75. So they did. Unbelievable. Phenomenal achievement for New South Wales.
Good on them. Go the
Absolutely.
Blues.
For the bonus points, Simon. Ellen Fife's solitary loss, her rink. Who did it come against? And what was the score?
I'm going to guess Queensland.
You're wrong. I'll give you a clue. It was round 2 of the competition. It doesn't help you at all, does it? Western Australia. And the score was 20-19. So the one rink that they've lost have gone down by 1 shot.
1 shot.
Unbelievable. That is, look, we don't know how far records go back, or we've never studied it, but that would take some beating, I would reckon, to get that far in. And it's 21 rinks played and to win 20 of them. The ladies should be very, very proud of themselves. And because of that got, and Queensland coming 4th in the women, that then helped them win the overall gold. So they did. So congratulations, New South Wales, taking out the overall gold. Like I said, there's a lot of other national titles that went up for grabs there. Pairs, triples, fours, the whole lot. Para, under 18s. You can all find it on Bowls Link. So jump on to Bowls Link, Bowls Australia Nationals, and then you have to go to completed events, but they're all there. That's the great thing about Bowls Link, mate. All the results are there for years to come now.
Yep.
Absolutely brilliant to see. And we'll move on then to, like I said, we were just down at Club Barham. We'll talk a bit about that. And also World Bowls have got their own version of Bowls Link up and running. World Bowls Match Center, where it just runs exactly the same. It's the same setup and everything. You can find the results that we're about to talk about as well from Club Barham in the World Series Finals. First time out of Sydney in a while.
Yeah.
First time to Barham. What was your initial thoughts when you're driving in to Barham?
Like you drive along roads that are dead straight. And there's nothing, literally nothing. It's
like
flat.
They are.
There's no hills.
No, hills. They're bullet straight, aren't they? Like,
yeah.
Like we were sharing. I shared the car with Aaron, Corey, and Gaza, and Gaza's just looking out, going, "Where is everything?" You know, you get a gap in the trees, and honestly, you can. Like I said it previously on the podcast. I'm pretty sure when we visited back in February, you actually see the curvature of the Earth, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't mean to offend all those flat earthers out there, but you are wrong. The world is circular like a lawn bowl.
Yeah,
But what's your thoughts? You've done that trek all by yourself. You're used to the Sydney traffic.
It was nice to get out of Sydney, definitely, for driving. I felt relaxed being in the countryside, but I've been to a few country towns in New South Wales with my work, and driving there, you're just driving for so long and nothing there. You think, where am I going? Like, what am I going to see at the end of this road, or when I get to the end point? And yeah, you come into a little small country town, but then you drive around the corner and you've got this double roof over 2 greens.
Yeah,
and this
massive big club,
and you just go, how on earth does this club survive in this country town? Like, there's maybe 4 streets that have maybe some sort of commercial or shop or a post office or a bakery, things like that. Yeah. And you just wonder, how on earth is this sustainable. And you think about other clubs that are positioned in big metropolitan, say Sydney, Brisbane, whatever, that are struggling to make ends meet or that are really on borderline of staying open, but yet they've got thousands upon thousands of people in their catchment, really close to the club. But then you've got this little tiny club that can survive on a population of 2,500 people.
Yeah.
And it's like, but what are these guys doing to do that?
As Rowdy said as well, but that they're the biggest employer in town with 150 jobs because they're a multi-venue club as well. So I didn't realise until we were sitting in the commentary. But Barry mentioned too, Barry went and played a couple of rounds of golf at two different clubs. So there's some pretty fair golf courses there too.
There is, yeah.
But around the corner as well at the country club, I think he said 14 grass tennis courts, perfectly maintained in the middle of Barham. Yeah, I didn't know that either. So Baz mentioned it. Like it was insane driving in there, wasn't it?
It's mad. But look, what we got hospitality wise was exactly what you expect from a country club. Like it was top notch. Anything we wanted, guys were there to help us out, and all we had to do was ask, and it was given to us. So yeah, it was. Well,
they didn't give me the Keno numbers.
Yeah,
so they didn't. But no, it was great, and just to give everyone a bit of a guide to things. We've left Melbourne Tullamarine Airport, driven for an hour and a half. One of the lads has gone, we'll stop now and stretch your legs. So we get in this little town. I can't even remember the name of it. Looked around and went, there's not much here. We'll go to the next one. We had an hour and 40 to go. The next town we hit was Barham.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It's just, it really is isolated, and it's a long way. Like we talked about, it's a long way for the UK wants to travel to go there. So it's just an absolute credit to the 5 English and a couple of Welsh that actually made the trip out there to get all the way out there. Like it is 27 hours of flying and then 4 hours on a bus to get out there. And then you walk in, you're playing for the first ever World Series championship. So, I was your experience then as a whole. You were only there. You got there late Monday, at all day Tuesday, and you left halfway through Wednesday. But what did you find of it just in your time there?
Yeah, look, it was definitely a whirlwind of a trip in a few days being there. You were there a bit longer the whole week, so you got to suck it all up. But I think that what I took from maybe a more plain perspective, that the players were really invested in it. It wasn't just rock up and play some bowls, and they were fully invested in wanting to play really good bowls, and they did. We seen even on the practice day that we were recording, we seen some fantastic bowls.
No, on the Monday night, there was a couple playing it down a little.
Yeah,
but then they come out for the practice on Tuesday, and it's like, all right, game face, and then they rocked up Wednesday morning, and it was like, game face, let's go.
Yeah, it was definitely there was a lot of game face on Wednesday morning, like whenever we were in the club, and you seen the players coming in, and you could tell a lot of them are really focused and they wanted to go out and perform to the best of their ability. And I think also being there the day before, like the practice day, and listening and talking to some of the players, that they were actually there not just the day before the event, but a few days before the event. Some of them were there from the weekend, and they went on and played and practiced. So a key takeaway I think that our listeners can take is even the elite don't just rock up like an hour before an event or a couple hours before an event and throw a couple of bowls down and expect to play really good bowls. They were there practicing. Majority of the practice day, all of the players were there putting bowls down. They'd go off, maybe have an hour break, have a bit of lunch, come back, have another couple hours on the green, go over to another rink, check out another rink. So they were getting all that, sucking in all that information as to how the rinks were going. Players were coming up and chatting to us about, that hand, holds a little bit down going that way. So that's what the elite players do. And as club bowlers, I think that's what we should be doing at our own clubs. And we should know how most of the rinks run. That's home advantage. And that's what I would take from being there and seeing that those elite players don't just rock up. And we get to see them on live stream, and you maybe think that they just rock up and throw a few bowls down and just get them really close and they're brilliant. But they're just like all of us. They need to put time on the green and practice, and they do that, and that's why they're elite bowlers.
Well, that's why they're the best of the best, mate. And that's why they've got to where they are, because they have put in the hours and hours of practice. But not only that, the purposeful practice. Like I reckon now, if we got Sam Tolchard to dial in right now, he would tell us exactly how every rink played at every length, because he was there from the Saturday, and I did not see a session where he was not on the green.
Yeah.
Even when he was having lunch, he was twitching. He wanted to get back out there again. They just every rink, unbelievable. So it was, and then it was a good event, mate. It started off on that Monday night with the Pro-Am, which I thought was a great initiative. They did that at the Champions, the World Champions earlier in the year. So how that worked was they basically flipped it. So the number 1 seed man went with the 12th seed woman and vice versa. Although I think of a couple of the Aussies, because there's so many of them in the field, if the Aussies lined up, they tried to switch that around a bit just to mix it up. But they played triples and they joined in with a one lucky member of the public, one member of Club Barham. He was looking to be drawn out and play with them. So that was a great night too. They played a couple of games and then had a final there. So that's just a great initiative to get Club Barham members and to thank them for what they've done. Like, they've given their club up for a couple of days. So now they've done really, really well with that. Yeah, another head out for the players, I suppose, to play on different rinks and actually play a competitive game. I mean, it's one thing rolling up, but being able to play that competitive game and change it up. And then the Tuesday we recorded side by side on the podcast for the first time, and we did a greenside. And thanks to all those players who were able to come and give up their time, but also Rowdy as well, the coordinator down there. He was pretty keen to get on the podcast and get his 15 minutes of fame and and get just tell us about the club, tell us about his past and his link to the club and what the club's all about. Like, it's pretty impressive when you get down there and see that in such a small country town. Like, it wouldn't be out of place in the middle of Melbourne. It really wouldn't.
Absolutely not.
It wouldn't be in a place in the middle of Sydney. So it was pretty incredible to do that. And then, thanks to, we based a lot of our interviews sort of around the players that had to travel. So we were lucky to get Selena from New Zealand, able to get Sam, Dom, Emily from England, and Ross, obviously, from Wales as well as the number 1 seed. So, it was good to have them sit down and have a chat to us. And then, obviously, that helped as well to get to know them a bit because a lot of them jumped into commentary throughout the week as well. So, look, I thought it was a very, very good event. It was a shame that some of the top players did knock it back, but it certainly helped Gary out because he got into the field and he went on to win it.
Did. There's a little bit of a running joke for the first couple of days we were there before the event started. Now, you want to let the listeners in of what you said to Gary Kelly in the car.
What goes on tour stays on tour. But no, Gary was like, obviously we go a long way back and my flight was a little bit delayed and Gary was being a little bit smart on the text messages. He was being a bit smart, and then I got into the rental car company and just turned around and he was still being smart, and I just said, do you want me to name all the people that you have to thank for not being here so you could play? But that still wasn't the best one. If you look at Corey Wedlock's Facebook, that was a cracker. I'll let that one just sit there. That was a good one as well. But it was good to see Gary win. I mean, we'll get into the results and all that too. Spoiler alert, Gary wins it. But it was pretty good actually, mate, to do that and, to be able to call it as well, because we have been through so much. Like, our careers sort of went side by side there for a while before I moved out to Australia. I say side by side. He was head and shoulders above everyone.
He was definitely head and shoulders above you and me, right?
Together, but like, we were reminiscing about while we were down there because like 2 nights before I first came to Australia, like I was hanging out with him and Simon and all that up in Simon's house, and we're playing the way and playing some silly slap hand games. So we go a long way back. So to sit there for the World Series final, commentate on it, and then Gary to win, it was pretty good. And the big sucker got emotional at the end of it too. He always gets emotional when he wins things. But it was a good event. It was a well run event. There's definitely plenty of working with it. Hopefully it gains some traction and builds up. And we see a lot more of it in the future years. It's certainly a great initiative. Like, we talked about a fair bit. Like, it's great. Like, golf have their end of year at the FedEx, or they have it at the Dubai, and then tennis have their end of year in London every time. So if bowls can have their end of year World Series and you gain up all these ranking points, I suppose it's just getting the events on board to gain the ranking points.
Yeah. There has to be a wide range of events across the world. Like, we can't just have all those events down here in Australia or New Zealand. And we need to have those across the globe. Really, does that everyone have a crack at it?
And the good thing was, like, you had a few people, and they're obviously Jack McShane's a world champion, but he hasn't been officially capped by Australia yet, so he was able to make it in. And then Aiden Takarua, although he's just won Hong Kong, he's in the squad and everything, but he hasn't officially been capped by the Black Caps yet. But they're able to play it and get themselves in the top 12 and go and contest this thing, and he made it all the way to the final, lost on a tiebreak. And then on the other side of it, like Cass Miller and Liv Cartwright, they've just been capped recently over in the Scotland tour. But because of previous events and what they won, they were able to get up those ranking points and come down and play in the event. So it was, with the Australian rankings that Bowls Australia do, there's a few crafty ones out there that travel around, play the events, and get their ranking points up. There's no reason you can't do that with the World Bowl Series too. And if you're keen enough, and able enough and willing enough, and you got the money behind you, you could go play on all the opens, the US Open, that's got ranking points, the Aussie Open, like we know, the Auckland Open, where is on in a couple of weeks' time, a mixed pairs tournament. And then, talking to the Chinese contingent we're out as well, playing in the Bowls for Brisbane game on the Tuesday night. Like they're looking to really build up their Lion singles or whatever it was called, and they've got a few other things. And then Hong Kong, there's other events around the world that are trying to build these things up. So you dip into the pocket money a bit and go and play in some of these events. You can get some ranking points. You never know, if you get enough, you might be able to play in this World Series at the end of the year. It's something good to aim to. Like, it's going to take a lot for a real unknown to make it through, I think, but there's no reason why they can't.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's a good little card to dangle.
You can be there on merit. Like, that's what it's about. It's not about selection or being part of any international squad, as you said. It can be, you can just be really, really on form one year and, go deep in a few events, and all of a sudden you've got ranking points and you're up there in the mix for the end of year event with the World Bowl Series. So great initiative, and looking forward to see how that progresses over the years.
Every bowler loves a true roll. With a MacMax canopy, there's less environmental impact on the green from the weather, which means less wear and tear on the surface, and a more consistent speed for your bowls. To find that perfect line more often, make it a MacMax.
Like we said, the way it's set up, ideally the top 10 will say yes to an invite, and then there's 2 wildcard slots that go in there. So that doesn't necessarily have to be 11 and 12. It could be anyone that's really maybe in form. Maybe someone's won a singles in the last couple of years or in the last couple of months and is in better form, and they think they could add to the competition. So they've left that open too with some wildcard invites, which is good. Yeah, split into both men and women, then split into 2 sections of 6. Play 5 games, 7 end sets, 2 sets of each, and a 3-end tiebreak if you need it. And those listening in the UK, that tiebreak is where shots count, not just the ends.
Yeah.
So a lot of the players enjoyed that a lot more, especially the UK ones coming out who are used to that tiebreak and sets format. To not have to play just to win the end, they certainly enjoyed that more. You actually get rewarded for a good end. So section 1 on the men's, what a section.
Group of death.
Dominic McVitie from England, Sam Tolchard from England, Cohen Lyttle from Australia, Aaron Sheriff from Australia, Sam Tolchard from England, Gary Kelly from Ireland. We haven't even got on the second section yet. That's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how did that one plan out? We said no one would go through that undefeated, and we weren't wrong. In fact, 3 of the players ended up with 3 wins and 2 losses. And Gary topped that section with his 3 wins and 2 losses and a net total shots of 1.
Tight group.
Yes. All right. So he actually, but it was set points that he got through on. So he had 6.5 set points. Cohen Lyttle came second, 3 wins, 2 losses, minus 10 net shots. But he had a 5.5 set points. Now you pay attention. Third was Ross Owen, 3 wins, 2 losses, 6 margin, 5 set points. Cohen Lyttle got in by a 0.5 point.
Yeah, right.
Yep. Not only right. Cohen won the first 3 games. He was undefeated after day 1. And then he's played the Thursday. He's gone 1 set all with Dominic McVitie and then lost the tiebreak. And then he's played Gary Kelly and he's lost that to 1.5 to a half. And set 2, he lost the first set against Gary, 8-4. So he's absolutely staring down the barrel of leading the competition to going out. He's then 6-2 down against Gary after 4 ends of the second set and gets a 1-1-2 to tie it and get into the semifinals by a 0.5 point over Ross Owen. So what a finish that was. That was, like we said, that was a pretty substantial section, wasn't it? And for it to finish that way, unbelievable. And then the other section, that was made up of Jack McShane of Australia, Lee Schreiner of Australia, Corey Wedlock of Australia, Isaac Zukepley of Malaysia, Daniel Davis Jr. of Wales, and Aidan Takaroo of New Zealand. And it was Aidan went through there undefeated, 5 wins from 5, set points 9. And then Corey got in, 3 wins, 2 losses, above Lee Schreiner, 3 wins, 2 losses. But Corey's sets were pretty substantial. He had 7, and then Lee had 5.5. So Corey actually lost his last game to Isaac from Malaysia, and that was Isaac's first win. But Corey was pretty much in regardless because Leroy, even though he beat Jack McShane, he couldn't get enough set points to get in. So like we said, that means that Aidan Takarua and Corey Wedlock went through. Gary Kelly, Cohen Litfin went through. One plays two. So you had Gary against Corey, absolute blockbuster. Two Warilla teammates, very good friends. Aidan Takarua versus Cohen Litfin. Aidan Takarua got up one set to half a set against Cohen. They drew the first set 8 each. He led that one 8-1 and lost a 4-1-2 to tie it. But then he won the second set 5-4. Cohen actually held game at one point. Then Gary Kelly against Corey again, blockbuster. They tied the first set 5 each, with Gary getting a 2 on the last end. So we had both men's semifinals tied after the first set. So the chances of a tiebreaker went straight out the window. And then Gary got up in that one, 8-4 in the second set. And Corey actually won 4 ends to 3, but he only won singles. Gary got 2 2s and a 4. So it just shows you pretty cutthroat. Which then give you Gary against Aidan in the final. Now, Aidan undefeated at this point, 6 wins from 6.
Mm-hmm.
Has not dropped the first set. Has not dropped the first set right up to the final. That did not change. He takes the first set out, 5-4. He was 4-0 down after 2 ends. Dropped a 1, then a 3. Now, the one that he dropped, he 4 against him, drew second shot with his last. Otherwise, he could have been way out of sight. But then he's won the next, 4 ends there, all in singles, to win the set by 1. Then we go into set 2. He was trailing. He took the first end of that set. So he won 5 ends in a row, but all singles. Gary's then replied with a 1-1-2-2. Aidan's then come back with a 1-1. So the score's 4-3 playing the last end. Aidan wins. Yeah, Aidan wins that end. He ties it up. He wins a set and a half to a half. He's champion. Gary wins. It goes to a tiebreak. Aidan comes up with his last ball. Slightly fortunate. He did hit the head, but he was very fortunate where the jack ended up.
I did say that one.
Where the jack ended up. Gary's in absolutely guts that jack to take it into a tiebreak.
He ditched the jack to go into a tiebreak.
So he's won 6-3. Gary's taking a 2 on the first end of the tiebreak. Aidan's taking a 1 on the second of the tiebreak, but then it was a 1 by Gary on the last end of the tiebreak to give Gary Kelly the win 3-1. 1 set each, 3-1 in the tiebreak. Gary Kelly is your inaugural men's World Series champion. On to the women's. Yeah, what a lineup this is as well. So section 1, we had Selena Goddard, the world number 1 from New Zealand. We had Cheryl Chan from Hong Kong. You had Olivia Cartwright from Australia, Dawn Hayman from Australia, Kelly McCarron from Canada, and Steph Branfield from England. Little unknown Steph around the main circuit, but absolute singles phenom over in England. She's won 3 of the last 5 national singles titles outdoor for the women.
Yeah, right.
And one of those years she backed up, I think it was 2021, she backed up and won the 2-bowl singles because they play a 2-bowl national singles, or 2-wood singles they call it over there. And she won that as well. So she knows what she's doing around the singles. Had a couple of close losses though, and unfortunately didn't get a win in the end, Steph. Selena Goddard really battled. She only got 2 wins out of 5. But then Dawn Hayman and Kelly played the last game undefeated 5 each, so they knew they were in the semifinals. They had a nice hit out on the TV rink with the winner knowing they won the second place, loser knowing that they got second place and they were through. And it was Dawn got the better of Kelly in that one. So Dawn went through with 5 wins out of 5, and Kelly went through with 4 wins out of 5. Then we go into section 2. Kelsey Cottrell of Australia, Cassandra Miller of Australia, and then we had the 2 Malaysian girls with Emma Soroji, who we know about, just won the World Cup. We got Alani Jamil, absolute wealth of experience. Emily Kernick and Nicole Rogers, the 2 English girls in there as well. Big shock for me. Emma Soroji really struggled. She really struggled with that surface, and she went down. She didn't win a game in the end, which I don't think anybody would have picked before they came to the competition. Even when at one point on the TV, she led Nicole Rogers 11-1 after the first set, but then lost the next set 11-1, then lost the tiebreak. You know, so it was a tough one there. Now, Cass Miller, similar to Cohen Litfin, she dominated early on. I think she definitely won her first 2, maybe even her first 3. Actually, no, I think it was first 2, then lost 1, then won again, and then she went into the last game against Nicole Rogers as first and second in the section. Cass still number 1, Nicole number 2. So Nicole, both of them knew they really had to win. But I think a tiebreak win for Nicole would have put the 2 of them through. But it didn't go that way. They tied a set, which means Emily Kernick, knowing that a 2-0 victory in her last game would leapfrog her in the top 2, and that's exactly what she did. So that gave us Nicole Rogers from England first, Emily Kernick from England second in that section. Dawn Hayman and Kelly McCarran in the other one. So again, 1v2, Dawn Hayman played against Emily Kernick on the TV rink, and Kelly McCarran played Nicole Rogers on the side rink in the semi-finals. And how do those matches go? The first semi-final with Nicole and Kerry. First semi-final with Nicole and Kelly. First set, 5-3, very, very tight one. Went in the favor of Nicole Rogers. Second set, 8-2. A little bit dominant there from Kelly. She trailed 2-1 after 3 ends, but went 1-3, 1-2 to win that set. Then they went into the tie break, and it was a 2 on the opening end for Nicole. It was a 2 on the second end for Kelly, and a 2 for Nicole on the final end to get the win and go into the final. Then on the TV ring, we had an absolute cracker of Emily Kernick up against Dawn Hayman. Dawn still undefeated at this point. Set 1 went to favor of Emily, 7-2. Dawn went in the first end and the fifth end, just with single shots, but Emily went 1-1-2, lost the end 2-1 to go 7-2, playing really, really well as well. It was a really high-quality game. Set 2, Dawn Hayman picked up a single in the last end of the tiebreak, in the last end of the set to go to the tiebreak to win that set 5-4. Then we go to the tiebreak. Emily gets a 2 on the first end. Dawn gets a 1 on the second end. Emily leads by 1 play in the last. She's 2 down in the head, both with 1 ball each to come, really tight head. Dawn comes down underneath, sits Emily out, and holds 2 shots. And then Emily's had to play a runner on a difficult hand. She's missed it. So Dawn Hayman goes through to the final, still undefeated. And that was up there with bowl of the tournament, along with Gary's that we just talked about to get him into the tiebreak. That one from Dawn probably held that role, probably held that spot until Gary went on and did what he did. Does that give, after that Ashes battle, Dawn's up against another Ashes battle in the final, which she plays against Nicole Rogers. And that was pretty much one-way traffic, to not be disrespectful to Nicole. Like, she played some very, very good bowls, but Dawn was just on fire. So she did win more ends in the first set, Nicole, but she went down 7-6. Dawn's first couple of bowls, absolute dynamite through the whole competition. And then the second set was a 7-3, just with Dawn opening with a 2-2-2 on ends 2, 3, and 4, really setting her away. And Nicole had an uphill battle after that. She's already chasing the game. So to chase the set down with shots in hand wasn't easy to do. It was a high quality game, but Dawn was just too good on the day. So that gave us Dawn Hayman as our inaugural women's champion, Gary Kelly as our inaugural men's champion. And that win for Dawn gave her the world number 1 ranking to finish the year out. So she got presented with her trophy as well. So what a finish that was. And that added little carrot at the end of world number 1. So Dawn got a lovely trophy, lovely crystal looking trophy with a block with a globe sitting on top of it.
Nice.
So well done, Dawn Hayman, our current World Series world number 1 and the inaugural World Series singles champion on the women's side.
Obviously, a lot of high quality bowls going on that week, and yeah, congrats to the 2 winners of that event, and inaugural event too. But not only was there some elite level bowling going on, there was some elite level commentary going on. DJ too, yourself and Barry were on commentary, and not only you can go back and look, if you go on the World Bowls YouTube page, there's games still there. So anyone who wants to go back, relive some of those moments, have a look at the high quality bowls from that week. There's YouTube videos that you can go back and have a look at. DJ, can you give us a bit of a glimpse into what life was like that week in terms of doing some commentary? And because the games were on Fox Sports as well, so not only was it just a bit of a live stream kind of thing, it was also on national TV as well.
Yeah, pretty steep learning curve, that one. So
yeah.
It was. I was I knew I was going down to do commentary, which I've done before. You sit behind the screen, you call the shots. It's pretty easy, you know the game. But then you're thrust into, you got to do all the sound, and then you're sitting there. You have to do a bit of anchoring as well. So I've got a camera pointed in my face, and I'm on Fox, and camera definitely adds 20 kilos at least. And there was 15 of them on me, which doesn't help.
So you didn't go to the gym or anything when you're down there? The gym that was in the Bowls Club?
Man, I don't think a day in the gym would have made any difference to what was happening there. But then also, like, having Luke was awesome. Luke from Sideline Sports was there. He's never done bowls before. He's come in, set up the 4 cameras, talked a bit to me and Baz. Sort of work. He watched the roll ups and was just working out angles and stuff. So he didn't do too bad. First day was definitely a learning curve. Got a bit of feedback from Fox that maybe wasn't. Oh, look, I wouldn't say it wasn't favourable, but it was certainly a bit of a you got to up your game here a bit, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, me and I'm an amateur. I don't know what I'm doing. I was just down there on a volunteer basis, trying to boost the podcast where I can by getting my image out there. So Yes, and then the next day you walk in, like I said, I'm doing the sound engineering, and then as he's like, right, oh, you got to wrap up now, and then I'm trying to do this wrap up, thinking off the cuff, which I can be okay at, but there's the added pressure of, or I'm on camera, and then all these hand signals flying in my way, and I'm like, if there was a world championship for the worst multitasker, I'm on the podium.
You're up there, okay?
I'm on the podium, mate, guaranteed. So for me to sit and do that off the cuff with a bit of pressure on you, and then Luke to be sitting in front of me, like doing all these hand signals, me not knowing really what was going on, it was like you get distracted and you look at him and you realize, oh no, I got to look at the camera, and then you're trying to talk to other people. But it was good in the end. Barry, look, all credit to Barry. I mean, as much as people say about him, Barry knows what he's doing. Barry's well drilled with that type of stuff. He obviously won his Bulls Australia role. He worked quite a lot with Foxtel. He's done thousands of interviews on camera. He knows what he's doing. They kept saying to me, do you want to switch out with Barry and do the interviews before the game? Heck no, Barry can do his thing. Let the boy go. He knows what he's doing. I know my place. Let him do it. It's all good. So yeah, it was good, man. It was really enjoyed it. Loved every second of it. Like I said, loved every second. It wasn't as straightforward as what Bulls New South Wales Platinum Pennant was.
Yeah.
But that was
a little bit different.
Yeah, but that was a good starting point. And then, I love it. I never thought I'd be doing that, but I never thought I'd do a podcast either. So to start the podcast with you and then get to that point to sit and do the commentary, like, mate, I'm a Bulls administrator. I'm a Bulls player. I'm on the board of Bulls New South Wales. I've been on the match committee of New South Wales. I've been on the match committee of the Hunter region. I'm now commentating. I just love the sport, mate. I dead set love the sport. As long as I'm involved in the sport in some capacity for pretty much the rest of my life, I'm good. No. And this last couple of years, the off-green side of stuff, like developing the facility, working on the podcast, building the club up, changing the culture, and then obviously getting into the commentary, man, it's up there with some of the best moments of my career as well. So I'm dead set loving it. Just like I said, man, I can't express enough just how much I love the sport. Dad put a ball in my hand when I was 8 years of age, back in Green Island. Come on, we'll go play a tournament. Just come home from work one night. Come on, we'll go play this tournament. Started playing regularly from about 12, and here I am now, sitting in my man cave recording a podcast for you, having in 2025 done New South Wales Platinum Pennant, gone to Kuala Lumpur for the World Bulls World Cup, and then gone down to Barham. Yeah, I couldn't be happier with how this year's gone off the green.
Yeah, no, it's come definitely a few little birdies in the year have said some big raps for your commentary, and I've definitely heard that it's refreshing to hear a different voice on bowls, and hopefully you get the chance to do that at a few more big events in the future. So
I'd love to, man. Look, I love a name drop, like, we do. We love to compare our name drops where we can. I said it during the Platinum Pennant too, and I'm not scared to say it again, although he doesn't message often, but when he does, it's key. And Wayne Turley messages again and says he's doing a good job. So if I can get a wrap off Turles, I'm happy.
Nice.
But Turles, pretty confident you're listening to me. I can't tell you how much that means to get that message from you as well.
Nice.
Because you get your haters, you get the boys that, they hit the old tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah.
So they do, and I'm loving every second of it. You get the people trying to hack you down. So if Wayne Turley's messaging you saying you're doing all right, I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with that, mate. So Turles, look, pretty confident you'll be listening, mate. I'm really thank you, mate. Your support means a lot. It's great that you've been on the podcast helping us out a couple of times as well. And if we've got you in our corner, we're doing something right.
Absolutely.
So that's enough of the soppy stuff, mate. It's been a while. I think we'll give Coach's Corner, mate, because we're coming up to Christmas. We're going to have a bit of a break. Everyone's having a little bit of a lull.
This time of year.
Yep. Those that are addicted to the game and just want to get out there rolling up, if maybe listen to that red hot commentary and it's inspired them to get out there on the green, let's go to Coach's Corner, mate. Let's wrap up 2025 with a little bit of inspiration to get people out on the green and something to work with.
Yeah, well, as DJ mentioned, we're going to have a few weeks break, but I think in between those few weeks, I'm going to put a little bit of coaching content out there because, as we all know, in New South Wales anyway, as soon as Christmas period is over, we're bang straight into sort of pennant season, and everyone's keen around January, come back from eating too much turkey and having a few Christmas beverages. They're all keen to get back on the greens and ready to play some pennants. So I thought that we'd just finish off with a little bit of sort of mental mastery kind of psychology around playing some decent shots and thinking about what the elite players have done being there last week down at Barham, and talking about Australian sides and players that get to that level. What do they do psychologically when they're standing on the rink? And it was funny, we asked Was it Don McVitie, DJ? We asked him when he played. It was a big bowl. He played in one of his comps. And we said...
One of his comps, it was a World Indoor Singles mixed... World Indoor Mixed Pairs final.
He's playing in world events all over. Like, he's over here, he's over there.
That's just
and we
one of
asked
those
him,
things.
what does he think about on the mat when he's about to deliver a really important bowl? And he didn't give us an answer straight away, did he? He kind of thought for a little bit and thought, yeah, what do I think about? And that kind of psychology of, I think the elite players, they get to a point where they don't actually think about what they're about to do, because then you overthink it. And it's that routine based in your delivery, routine based in your pre-shot, everything you do. And that leads on to then kind of the psychology point of it, that the likes of distractions, they're gone. A big thing is distractions. So you're not thinking about what your opponent's about to do. It's a clear mindset. You're not thinking about the wind. You're not thinking about, does this bowl really matter? No, I'm just going to play a really good bowl and clear those distractions that are sort of maybe floating around, or you're thinking about, no, let's get this end over with, move on to the next one. Nah, let's focus on the bowl you're about to deliver. The other thing that I picked up from last week down there, that the elite players, they stay emotionally stable. They're pretty one-faced, regardless of whether they're up, they're down, they're winning, they're losing, the momentum's with them or not. They stay stable, and definitely no frustration, not rushing shots, or no anxiety coming through. Anyway, from what you can see, that's what I kind of picked up on.
Did you watch Gary Kelly and Corey Wedlock play at all?
Yeah, but for overall, a general.
But that's a release for them too. That's what people don't understand too. It doesn't look good on camera at times. All credit to them, but it's a release for them too. It gets rid of that. Some people can dwell on those type of things. Some people are able to lock it in the locker, put it away, not dwell on it. Other people can dwell on it a bit, and their release is to basically have a blow up about it. It's gone, move on.
Yeah, but staying sort of that, keeping it quiet, and then routine handles the rest. So trying to keep that mind quiet, routine, pre-shot routine, all that kind of thing.
Prime example for that one, as you said, going back to the YouTube, Nicole Rogers of England versus Emma Soroji of Malaysia. Nicole 11-1 down in the first set, won the second set 11-1, and then won the tiebreak. Listen to her interview with Barry after the game too. She talks about that, about how to concentrate on that mental side of things. So that's a very good example.
Yep. And lastly, from a psychology point of view, something to think about when you're going into new season, new year, new bowler maybe, visualize the shot. I have no doubt whatsoever that all those players will visualize every single shot before they start to do their delivery. They're standing on the mat, they're looking down the rink, and it might take seconds for them, but they will visualize that bowl going down that line that they want it to take. So if you're a club bowler out there, you should be doing exactly the same. You'd be standing on the mat, and you should be able to draw a line of where that ideal arc is that you want your bowl to go on and where it's going to finish. So that is something that all elite players do, and that's something that all club players should be doing as well. And you should be visualizing that ball going down the green multiple times, not just once, multiple times, of where that line is, and that will help you to pick your line and where you're supposed to deliver the ball as well. So having that visualization of the shot is definitely key in terms of psychology when you're standing on the mat ready to deliver. So a few insights there to take into next year, into kick off 2026. And good luck to everyone in the new year, getting on the greens and hopefully delivering some decent bowls.
Some great insight there from our head coach of the Bowls Academy, Simon Lyttle. Get in touch, Simon at thebowlsacademy.com. Let us know how those tips went for you and how much that's improved your game. But I think that'll wrap us up for this week, mate. We've had a pretty busy last couple of months. Well, I know I have anyway. But yeah, it's been another good year on the podcast, mate. We are coming up to that time of year. Jesus is the reason for the season. Christmas time. We love it. Family time. New year. We're going to take a bit of a break. We'll be back in early January for that type of stuff. And yeah, mate, it's just been another good year, hasn't it?
Has indeed. And yeah, looking forward to a few weeks off, chilling out for a couple of weeks up at the in-laws up in Brisbane. So looking forward to that. And what about yourself, DJ? What's on the cards for Christmas?
Oh, not much, mate. Just hanging around home. Just the usual stuff. Yep, Yana gets up, does a massive amount of cooking. Unbelievable. Really comes into your own this time of year, mate. The house looks $1 million with all the decorations that she's accumulated over the years. I don't see how we need to get new decorations every year, but she makes it work. That's absolutely brilliant. I get to do the tree and the little garlands up on the windows around the tree. She does everything else in the house and absolutely nails it, so she does. But Christmas Day, yep, up she gets, crack of dawn, see if Santa's come, open the presents for the kids, and then straight into the kitchen to get some cooking. I know I might get the chip in a bit this year, get the barbecue going, get the Weber going. See if I can chip in a bit this year, some smoked meats or something out there. But nah, I always love this time of year. Like I said, it's a lot more relaxing, bit of time with the family, and then New Year's after that. New Year's is what it is. No resolutions coming from me, man. I'm not into that type of stuff. What about you?
Nah, me neither. I'll maybe resolution to maybe start throwing a few more bowls down. It's been a while, so that break might
first.
That break might be coming to a little bit of an end, and back on the greens again. I think in the new year.
Mate, August was the last time I picked a bowl up, and then I've had to fly to Melbourne yesterday. I wouldn't have had more than 12 ends, I'd say.
Did you know to keep the little disc to the inside?
I did remember to keep the little disc to the inside. Funnily enough, as I got there, I'm like, I forgot a cloth, and opened my bowls bag. There was my TBA cloth there ready to go. But I tell you what, mate, my hamstrings, my quads, and my glutes are killing me today. So there is such a thing as well, folks, as match fitness. Trust me.
Yeah.
I've just learned that because that's the biggest break I've had since I moved to Australia. But yeah, it is what it is. Certainly looking forward to a little bit more of a break and then ramping up into the pennant season in the new year, mate. So as we said, mate, it's been another big year on the podcast. We're coming up pretty quick. By April time, we'll get up to 2 years of doing this. But it's been a big one for us. We've had a couple of sponsors jump on board. We give them a shout out every week. But I do need to give a shout out to Todd and family from Newcastle Car and Truck Rental. Thanks for jumping on as the major sponsors this year. To Alistair and the team up at MacMax. It was great to have you on board as well. Look, people say, they're saying it because it's a sponsor, but on all honesty, there's no better canopy than a MacMax canopy. You will not convince me otherwise. There's no amount of money can convince me otherwise, but we're happy to promote them. They dish up an absolutely brilliant product. And as we talked about quite in detail at the start of the show, Jeremy down at SSA, we're very, very appreciative of that early Christmas present we got last week with all that new gear. He certainly spoiled us. He's looked after us. Mate, I've had a lot of bowls gear in my time. That is right up there. So it is. Absolutely. It is quality.
Feels really nice on.
Oh, I couldn't wait to get it on, especially in the heat of Barham down there. It was nice to wear those T-shirts and shorts. And we've got a singlet for when it gets really hot. 40 degrees this weekend up here. Don't get me started there. But I'll be repping the SSA TBA singlet on the weekend, no doubt. But thanks to all those that have jumped on board and supported us. Thanks to the listeners as well. It's great to have you. We're well up on over 12,000 downloads now across all forms of media. We have a couple of hundred easily listening to us each week. We're loving it. As long as you love it, we'll keep coming back and doing it. So thank you for your support. And everyone that's got in touch over the last 12 months as well. Love it. Keep it coming. We're happy to talk about most subjects that we can. Don't mind to be a little bit controversial here or there, but you do Absolutely. Know that the opinions that come will come from the right place. And more often than not, we've usually got a solution as to how to fix a problem. Whether it's right or wrong is another thing, but we don't just point it out, have a whinge. We will come up with a solution. Absolutely love doing it with you, Simon, mate. Here's the end of 2025. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and don't forget, keep that little disc on the inside.
And good luck on those greens. The views, information, or opinions expressed during What a Load of Bulls podcast episodes are solely those of the individuals involved and do not represent those of any group, organization, or employer associated or affiliated to individuals. This podcast is for general information purposes only, to educate and inform. This podcast does not constitute professional advice or services. What a Load of Bulls does not guarantee the accuracy or reliability of any opinions expressed or statements made within episodes.